Yes, recording is progress. Yeah. Once again, good morning, team. Welcome to our PMIPCC Agile series. Today's topic is Lean, Kanban, and Scrumban, and speaker is our own Manohar, so- who is very known for in our chapter. He's our general secretary, and he's program management leader and enterprise agile coach. A little bit about Manohar. He's seasoned project management practitioner with strong and program and project management delivery, especially industries covering aerospace, manufacturing, and IT domains. And he has a successful track in building project management practices in organizations and a good reputation for delivering projects on time within our SCT areas. And he worked with Infosys, signed Belcon, and currently he's with Amar Raja as a PMO leader for Executive Directory Office. And he's expertise in establishing project management office and both for the projects covering waterfall and agile methodologies. And he's currently serving as a board member from April 2018 for PMIPCC, and he is currently holding general secretary and director for membership roles. And he is a recipient of significant contributor award, project management national conference 2019 from PMI India. And yep, with that, I'll pass it on to you, Manohar. I'll stop sharing. And thank you once again for coming forward and coming up with this topic. And we would like to hear with your rich experience. Yes.
Sure, Vinay. Can you hear me loud and clear, Vinay?
Yes, Manohar. Yeah,
Okay,
so we can see your screen. Yeah.
great. Yeah, thanks, Vinay, for the nice introduction, and thanks to PMI team, especially to this for giving me opportunity to be here and present some of the topics which I have learned over these years. I thought this is going to help you better understand Lean, Kanban, and Scrumban. And definitely, this is one of the PMI Pearl City chapter is very pioneer in doing a lot of initiatives to this member, and Agile is one of the new initiative taken care introduced I think 4 weeks ago, and it's been running successfully with a lot of traction in the members. And very soon you will be hearing more about what next in the Agile series. Just jumping into the topic, we'll be talking today for next 45-50 minutes about what is Lean and what is Kanban and some information about Scrumban. Here, the agenda, how I take you is, I will just give some introduction and some examples, and then most of the time we'll be talking more on Kanban, and we'll be knowing how exactly Lean is going to help us in Agile world, and what is some basic introduction about Scrumban. Again, Scrumban being a very vast subject, so in the interest of time, I won't be going in detail about how exactly Scrumban can be done, what is Scrumban modes, how that need to be done. But I will be giving some introduction, and maybe later down the line, we can have another session exclusively for Scrumban. And in between, if you have any doubts or if you need any clarification or if you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat window. And whenever I feel there is a logical pause or a break, maybe I can check or when I can read those questions, or maybe at the end we can take all the questions.
Yeah.
This, yeah. First, the first topic is Lean. Can someone tell, or maybe a chat window? See, what does it comes to your mind when you hear Lean? How can I see this?
I'll see. I'll monitor the chat. Or if you want to talk, please raise the hand. I can unmute you. You can share.
Okay, chat I can see. Okay, what is the first thing that comes in your mind if you hear that
Section of list.
Lean? Okay, The thin agile, reduction of waste, eliminate the waste, quality. Okay, reduction of waste, quality, avoid. That's all the answers are right. So for me, when I think about lean, the first thing that I think about is the human body. Many of the times we think about lean. If someone is very thin, without fat, maybe without fat not possible, but only with the required fat or the useful fat, then we feel that person or that woman is very lean. What does it mean? That person is lean means they don't have the unnecessary fat, which is not required to the body. Exactly, the lean concepts has been built on this. And just to give introduction about this lean, lean is a very popular technique, especially in the manufacturing industry. Uh, used in Toyota from early 1950s very successfully, and still today that lean principles been very much useful in all these core industries and now in IT industries also. The core idea of the lean is to eliminate or reduction of non-value added activities. What is non-value added activities? Non-value added activities are something which doesn't help you in enhancing the functionality of the product, whatever the product might be, a software product or might be a physical product. If there is a feature or some material which is not adding any value to the product, then it is called non-value added thing. And it is termed as waste. The basic idea of lean is to eliminate all those waste and increase. By the way, why are we doing project is to add some value to customer. And lean focus on optimizing the end-to-end process. It doesn't it lean to understand the lean, you need to have end-to-end understanding of the complete process, right from starting till entry into the market, and then creates value for customer from the initial idea to collection cash. That's from initiation till the final. Lean principle focus on flow more than anything else. Lean will check what are the bottlenecks in the process, and the bottlenecks need to be removed. Bottlenecks are something hindrances, which will avoid, which will create lot of backlogs, which will create lot of wastage, downtime. All those things we will see in the coming slides. And wasteful activity need to be included, identified, and avoided. In any process, yeah, if you are doing from A to Z, then there might be some unuseful process. So in lean methodology, you need to identify what are those unuseful process or what are those wastage, and they need to be identification is one important thing, and elimination, how exactly you can eliminate them. The agile process itself is a lean methodology for the software development cycle. And goals of lean: learning to recognize waste. This exactly we spoke. Enhance stakeholder value, that's value to customer, or improved return on invest. Oh, is the voice choppy? Is it for everyone? Is it only for one person? Vinay, can you confirm? Arvind said the voice is choppy. Arvind, so Vinay,
Yes, Manohar. I think all good. I think
all good. Oh,
this.
maybe it's internet connection. Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, Arvind, you can join back. Yeah. And enhance stakeholders value, that's the value, that's return on investment. And improve quality, that's most important. Whatever the product we build, we need to ensure that we need to pay utmost importance to the quality, whatever is committed. Quality, again, quality is a very big vast term. Quality is very vast, and building a quality requires a lot of process improvements, and lot of process need to be followed. And reduce time. Why reduce time? Because time to market is very important, especially for software industry, or not only software industry, with this fast-paced environment throughout everywhere in every industry. Time to market is very important, and the quicker you get a product into the market, the more market the company can get into the market. So that's the reason you need to have very less times for the projects and reduce the total cost. That's the ultimate goal. Whatever the product or project we do, we need to reduce the cost, optimize the cost as much as possible, and with the lean, we can do it. And as I mentioned, Toyota has developed this production system, eliminating the enemies of lean, this Mura, Muri, and Mura. That's waste, overburden, and unevenness. I don't go into them. Again, that's a very big subject, and I don't think that is required here. So I'm just skipping those topic and going to the 6 principles of software development. So there are seven principles of software development. The first thing is eliminate of waste, and second thing is build quality in and create knowledge, defer commitments, deliver fast, respect people, and optimize the whole. These are the 7 different lean principles we need to follow so that we can have a successful project. And now we will see what exactly each step called. Eliminate waste. Eliminate waste is nothing but anything that doesn't improve the code quality. Just as example, here I'm taking we are writing a code, and there are different ways of writing code, and every person has a unique style, and every organization has a unique method or a process how you write a code. And any of the steps that doesn't add any value to the product or improve the code quality, then that is called waste. And efforts for development process. What exactly is efforts for development process is if you write code, you need to optimize the code or you need to optimize the complete manufacturing process. Otherwise, it unnecessarily adds a lot of lead time. So that is nothing but a waste. So whatever the process you do, whatever the work we do, we need to identify uh, all the quality, whatever the steps that you follow, you should have utmost care and the quality need to be important into it and eliminate those waste and build quality. How you can build quality is you need to have a robot system and preventing defects early. Preventing defects early is the key point, and proactive quality assurance. See, especially for project managers, we need to have a very strong understanding of quality assurance. What is the quality control is different to quality assurance. There is a slight difference, but both go hand in hand. As a project managers, we need to have very clear-cut understanding. So we need to have what are the different tools, techniques that we can use so that we can build the quality in the product. Quality is not something a goalpost that you complete the product and give it to QA, then QA will come up and find out some errors and throw back to you. No, that is not an optimal process. The quality is built in each step so that you reduce those effects or defects right from the starting. And constant feedback, and you need to give constant feedback to your team members, or while writing a code we need to have a peer review, or maybe some superior should need to review the code so that we can reduce all those defects in the early stage and inspect and adapt, minimize time between the stages, and define quality acceptance test before writing the software itself. So by this you know what exactly you are going to test. If you know that what you are going to test, then you will ensure that those mistakes are those things you will avoid while writing the code itself. And create knowledge. This is very important. We do a lot of work, but as a project managers, as a team members, team leads, we forgot to write what we have done it. And creating the knowledge, we might have learned something. That's exactly Vinay is doing. I'm trying to help you out to understand Lean, Kanban, and Scrumban, and he's trying to record it. There are hundreds, thousands of people in the team in our membership base not able to attend today. So for their benefit, he's recording this session, this knowledge sharing session, and he's keeping it. Exactly when you are doing work in your organizations, record if you are learning something or if you're doing something new, try to record those and keep it them as your references. And any of the KT sessions, and you need to plan reverse KT sessions so that you ensure that whatever the knowledge that you have gained will be there within the team. And you need to have a code reviews, very frequent code reviews and quick feedback cycle. Many of the organizations, and even I've been into IT and other industries for a quite long time, and feedback cycle is very important. Many of the times, feedback is the bottleneck, I feel. Team members might have completed the work, they have submitted it to someone to review, or a project manager or maybe a team lead need to review, or SME, and that is the bottleneck. He might be bombarded with so much of activities and he don't have time to look into it. So you need to have to improve the product life cycle, to improve the time to market is very important. So you need to have quicker feedback cycles and defer commitments, make decisions at the right time. And you don't need to hurry up the decisions, and you try to avoid the decisions as late as possible, especially if some of the irreversible decisions you don't need to take it at the early stage of your project. Try to avoid, if it is not impacting the project, then take a decision at the later stage. Why? Because you get a project maturity and you understand more about the requirements. And deliver fast. This is very important. And produce softwares in smaller increments. So that's exactly as Agile does. In Waterfall, you do step-by-step method, and you come to know the project at the very last stage. That in the ending stage only you can see what is the product or what is the finished code. But whereas in Agile methodology, it talks about small increments, minimum viable product, by focusing on limited number of high priority requirements. And most importantly, you need to have right people, right skill set in your team. Before start of your project, you need to do a skill set analysis, gap analysis, I can say skill set gap analysis, and identify what are the skill set required for your project and have the right team, and avoid over-engineered solutions. I'm sure there might be tech savers in our teams. They are pretty good, but some of the solutions you don't require a lot of engineering. Very simple solutions we try to spend a lot of time. So this is one of the traits that you need to avoid as a project manager. Avoid over-engineering solutions. That need to be very simple. And respect people. This is one of the very important thing which most of the organizations and teams miss. Empower the team. As a team members, we need to empower, respect everyone and empower them. And we need to clearly define their roles and responsibilities and give freedom them to experiment. Give freedom at the same time, supervise them and see whether they are doing any mistakes or anything. We need to correct them and appreciate and recognize all those efforts. That motivates the team and that helps you to deliver much faster and much quality product. The final one, optimize the whole. Continuously we need to review the product and process developments. It's not one time lean methodology you are optimizing the product. It's not just one time, and it's from right from starting to ending. And also we are not just doing the lean methodology or process improvement only at a particular step. You need to look into the complete value system right from starting till end, and it might be difficult. So if it is difficult, if the project is so big, the complete steps is so big, you disintegrate them, and every step you can identify some waste and you can eliminate them. So that exactly talks about optimize as a whole. These are the 7 techniques. These are the 7 lean software development principles. And whatever the project or whatever the process that you are working, and you can use these 7 techniques and implement within your project. And I'm sure that you will get some success. So again, I can go more in detail about what exactly an eliminate waste, different types of wastes are there, again, eliminate waste. So in the interest of time, I'm not going in detail. So if you have any questions, you can park it there for the later stage. You can type it there so that I can take everything at the end. So this, I hope I understood that you can type in chat window. I understood that you might have understood at least some basic information about what is lean and how it can be implemented in the software development cycle, right? You can say thumbs up or something in the chat window if you understood or if you are not understood.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sunil. Okay. Yeah, thanks, team. That just I will ensure that I am not making you to sleep. That you are active and listening to me. Thank you. Okay, that's good. 1 second. Now we move on to the main topic of today. That's how. Okay. Yeah, I need to hurry up. Kanban. How many of you worked in Kanban earlier? Have hands-on experience with Kanban? Can you please type in? If anyone knows, I'm sure that everyone knows about Kanban, but how many of you had experience in Kanban, using Kanban? Anyone? Yeah, visual boards, right, Naveen? Gokul, yes. Arvind, yeah, use Kanban boards everywhere. That's super great, Arvind. Thanks, team. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we got a mixed responses. Yeah, many used, many didn't used. Reduce work in progress, Babita, right? Yes, that's one of the principle that we'll see. So Kanban is very effective tool, and especially, do you know where exactly the Kanban is? We have different agile methodologies in agile framework, like Scrum is one, and Kanban, Lean methodology, XP, TAD discipline, agile delivery, SAFe. All those methods, there are different methodologies, and every work or maybe based on the organization need or organization culture, we use a set of agile methodologies, and Kanban will be best suited for productionized environment. Software product development, yes, software product development, and more precisely, right now it's being used in production support environment, like where you don't know the quantum of work and there is a continuous flow of work. Especially if there is a continuous flow of work, then the Kanban is going to help you out. And we'll see, those who don't know about Kanban, we'll talk about what is Kanban, what are the different types of Kanban, and we'll see how exactly you can install a Kanban, or you can replicate this Kanban in your teams, and how it is going to benefit you. And everything goes back to, again, the core industries, because software is something from last 35 years, but before that everything is core industry. This Kanban been developed. Japanese has a very good strong foundation and quality management system. They are the pioneers and they are the fathers of the quality management systems. And again, Kanban is also their baby. It is just a scheduling system. It is one of the lean system. And what exactly the meaning of Kanban is? It's a signboard. It's a Japanese word. Kanban means signboard or a billboard. That's the literal meaning when you translate Kanban into English, signboard or a billboard. And it's developed by Taichi Ono. He's the father of this, and he's an industrial engineer and a businessman who used to work for Toyota, and he developed this Kanban board for Toyota in 1940. It is very simple tool, very simple tool. And with the discussion, whatever we are going to have now, you can go back and you can install the Kanban tool, personal Kanban tool on your desk. Even I use Kanban tool. Actually, I should have taken a pic of it. I forgot to take it in my office room. In my office room, I have a Kanban board, my personal Kanban board. I use it for my tasks. That's very useful to me. And provide visibility. That's the main important thing with the Kanban is that provides a visibility and structure to the team. And what is the workload? You can see at any given point of time. Okay, you can at any given point of time, you know what is the workload of the team and what is the workload that is pending and how much is work in progress and how many tasks has been completed. What is this? Can someone say what is this? I hope you can see this picture. What is this picture?
You can type in the chat. Kanban board, notice board.
Kanban board. Who said? Okay, board. It's a board. Okay.
Gokul, good answer.
Board.
Note board.
Some board.
Uh,
In pipeline.
like,
So value stream mapping, work in progress board, team. Yeah, all your answers are right. It's a Kanban board. This is the first Kanban board. That's the first ever Kanban board. And there are different stages, right? Each stage there is one board, and this is how it's been used in manufacturing industry way back in 1940s, 1950s. There are three different boards, like to do, work in progress, completed, and we'll see how exactly that we can use them. And as I mentioned that this has been implemented only in manufacturing industry, started in manufacturing industry. What happened? How it came into IT industry? Why is IT industry so important with Kanban? And many of the organizations, especially I used to work in Infosys, we implemented it in many of the accounts successfully. And I'm sure with all your organizations, especially who has production teams. And David Anderson developed a Kanban board to support his software development team. This is the first time someone has used this Kanban board for a software development project in 2004 for Microsoft. And it is so useful, and he could able to extract a lot of benefits out of it for his team. And it got inspired, and he has written a book in 2010 and inspired other people outside the automobile industry to use it. And you can take a snapshot of this. Yeah, Kanban successfully evolutionary change for your technology business. David J. Anderson. It is available in the market. I'm sure free books or maybe in Amazon. That will help you to understand how it can be implemented to IT industry in extensively. So this is the basic history of Kanban, how it entered into IT industry. And Kanban means signboard or billboard and represents the team current work and flow. Can represent nearly any business flow. It can be used in any business flow or any business type, like software development from waterfall to Scrum, or business development, or maybe change management or HR, and personal. I forgot to mention personal also. I have some tasks to do. I have continuous flow of work from my team members, or maybe from my work. My boss may be giving a lot of tasks to me. Then it becomes cumbersome to me. I cannot keep everything here. Then I translate everything into the Kanban board. And information radiator, this is very important. Teams and stakeholders can see progress easily at given point of time and easily identify what is the easily identify what is the bottlenecks and enable process improvement and agility through lean practices. And we'll read through, we'll go through it, how it each step by step. And there are, for every methodology, there will be some core principles. Like lean, we have seen 7 principles, right? Similarly, even for Kanban, there are 6 Kanban principles. Visualize your work. It will help you to identify, it will, at any given point of time, as a manager, as a team member, you know what is the workload of your team members. When you go and see a Kanban board, if I'm sitting here, if I have a Kanban board installed in my office, then if I see, then I know what is the workload of my team members and how many are there in work in progress, how many are still waiting for it, and when they need to complete it. So it helps me to better manage whether I need to add more resources or I need to reduce the resources or some resources are idle. All those things, it helps in planning for a manager. And limit work in progress. Many of the time, this is one peculiar problem, especially those who has a lot of big teams, especially for big teams. If you are handling a lot of people, and there will be some people always they complain that they have so many things to do, so many things to do. Some people, they cannot say no, and they try to accept whatever that comes. And there are some smart people, they try to optimize their work, and something comes, and they'll push it to others. So here this Kanban board will help you to optimize and neutralize every people and limit the work in progress. So that at any given point of time, every person will have a required amount of work on the table. So that the process, because of what happens is someone is working more, someone has more tasks to do, someone has less tasks to do. The guy who has more tasks to do, he becomes a bottleneck. Until he clears the task, it won't go to next step. So that creates the bottleneck. So to avoid those bottlenecks, we need to have work in progress limit. And how we can keep the work in progress limit, I will explain in the next slides. And manage flow. That's exactly I told. You need to have a seamless flow. How the water goes from one place to another. There will be, if there are a lot of interference, if there are bottlenecks, what happens? The flow of the water reduces, right? So there might be a very high flow initially, but the time it reaches, it might be it might be moving very slow because of the bottleneck. Exactly in the project environment also, you need to clear the bottlenecks. It's not possible to clear 100% bottlenecks, but minimize the bottlenecks so that the flow won't get affected. And make policies explicit. We have a Kanban board and we know what exactly need to be done. It is not going to make it. You need to make some explicit rules to the team, and the rules need to be managed and monitored by the project manager, and also it's a responsibility of individual persons. And the policies need to be made and agreed by the complete team members before implementing of this Kanban board. And implement feedback, whatever we do. And this is very important. You need to have a feedback mechanism. So maybe very early, the early feedback helps you to improve the process very early stages. So you need to have a continuous feedback mechanism at very regular intervals. And most importantly, improve collaboratively. As a manager, if you say that, okay, I asked you to do this, I have created this guidelines for you, it doesn't work. And we need to improve collaboratively. Everyone need to be part of this collaborative exercise and evolve experimentally. There is no right and wrong way in Kanban. In Kanban, I will show you different types of Kanban boards, then you will understand which one is what. There are a lot of different methods where you can use the Kanban. So there is no right and wrong. Whatever fits to your team, that you will first you start with a simple Kanban tool, then you can experiment it and you can add more swim lines to it. And these are the 6 core principles of Kanban. And as a project manager, if you want to implement in your organization, this you need to follow. And Kanban implementation steps. This is a simple steps, I can say 5-step process where you can follow to implement a Kanban in your organization. So why do I implement a Kanban? The first step is there should be a business need. Like I'm struggling, see, especially I will tell an example. I used to handle a production team, a team of around 60 people, and we used to get a tickets of around 1500 tickets. So how many tickets per person? 1500 tickets and 40-50 members, and every day I used to get at least 50 tickets. 50 tickets, and I need to assign them to each team members, and some might be P1, P2, P3, P4, L1, L2, L3, L4 tickets. So there, what happened in my organization, we have a turnaround time. So the moment a ticket hits my system and the moment I close this, and a client to confirm that yes, the ticket is acknowledged, the ticket is closed, there is a turnaround time or maybe the cycle time. The cycle time or turnaround time to close a ticket has becoming very high. Earlier, it used to go, if it is a P3, P4, we used to take at least 10, 12 days because they are not of priority. Then we got a issue over there because a lot of tickets are getting piled up. So then there is a business case for us that we need to implement some tool so that all these tickets will get reduced. Or there might be some issue, then as a team member or SME or your agile coach or someone would have told you that, okay, implement a Kanban that is best suits your environment. So always you need to have a business case or a need, then you can implement it. Then once you decided to implement, the next step is agree on Kanban. Buy-in from management. Whatever the process improvement you do in your organization, you might have a super ideas with you, but you need to have a management buy-in. That is very important. When you have a management buy-in for your idea or any other process improvement, then it can be implemented across organization or within your team very easily. So the first thing you need to do is buy-in from your management. Explain them the business need and benefits that you can get out of it, and no manager, no boss is going to say no, don't implement. They will ask you to implement, and identify the metrics. Here for Kanban, as I told you, the metric which I used is turnaround time. I have plenty of tickets, pile of tickets every day. So I want to reduce. Whenever a client is giving feedback, he was giving that for a P3, P4 tickets, I am taking P1, P2, I am clearing within a day or within 2 days. But where are P3, P4, I am taking it more time, maybe 10 days, 15 days. Sometimes they are in pipeline from 30, 40 days also. That's a negative feedback we got. Then the metric which we want to reduce the turnaround time. And at the same time, we want to avoid the bottlenecks, and also we need to have uniform work to each team member. These are some of the methods we kept. And agree on a process that Kanban need to be how a Kanban is implemented, a simple process, maybe to make a start to do work in progress. That's something you need to agree. And identify the tools. The best way to implement Kanban, with my personal experience, I can say I've been using it even when I was working for aerospace industry. This is what we used it. We have tools, we have beautiful tools in organization, enterprise tools, but everything in the system, you keep that there's a task you need to do, that goes, that's it. Always something visually if it is available on your desk, then it creates a lot of value. So the best method I can say is you need to install a physical Kanban board. And then you can go to maybe Jira or Azure DevOps, Azure boards. You have a customizable Kanban board that suits your requirement. You can customize it. You can use them online, but to make a start, what I can suggest, you use a physical board. That is very effective. And then conduct awareness sessions. Once you decided, you conduct awareness sessions and execute and measure. That is the feedback system I mentioned. Conduct daily stand-ups. So for like a sprint, even for Kanban, you need to have daily 15-minute stand-up, either with all the team, open the Kanban board, just go through it. You don't need to go through each and ask task, but what is the work in progress, and if there is a bottlenecks, you need to discuss and clear them. And measure and report actuals every week. That is very important. And conduct retrospective meetings and identify and make some process improvements. These are the 5 steps that you need to follow before implementing a Kanban. Some simple Kanban examples. To do, doing, done. We'll go through it. What is to do, doing, done? Just I will run through some slides. Here, to do, plan, develop, test, deploy, done. This is for software. Backlog, waiting, work done. See, I showed you 1, 2, 3. All are correct. There is nothing wrong, no wrong. This is a basic tool to do doing work in progress. Okay. That generally Kanban tool, generally, if you want to implement a simple Kanban in your organization, there will be this three or four swim lines. That's called backlog. Backlog is something which contains list of all the pending tasks. So if it is a production system, you need to have a backlog on your left hand side. Whenever a new ticket comes, keep it there, paste it there, paste it there, paste it there. Or you have a set of activities. If you are doing might be if you are doing in a waterfall method, you know what are the different activities that you want to complete for this particular week. All those things, write it on a slip and paste it, write it on a slip, or use your software tool and assign it to the team members and keep it in backlog. That is a pending task. What are the tasks that someone need to pick it up and do it? And the next thing is to do waiting or buffer. To do which contains the tasks which are already prioritized. Buffer is something just like a kitty, all the tasks will be there. Whereas to do is something already prioritized task. And work in progress. Work in progress is someone already picked and someone is working on those tasks which are currently in progress. And this is very important that there is a maximum number which can indicate the maximum number of tasks that someone there cannot be have more than 5. As a team, you can keep at any given point of time, I should not have more than 5 work in progress. Based on your team capacity, based on number of team members you have, based on the task complexity, as a team, you need to understand, and you need to explicitly make rules that at any given point of time, I should have not more than 3 work in progress or 10 work in progress. That's up to you. As a team, you need to decide. Why? Because if otherwise it is a pull system. Whenever I get stuck with some work, I pull something and I start working. It is not going to work. So you need to have some clear cut some line that they should not be more than 5, 10 or X number of work in progress and done. That is very important. Once you complete a task, move it to the done stage, because by end of the day, by end of the week, you need to see how many tasks that you have completed. So if it is a physical board, I strongly suggest not to remove those done. Someone, I have seen my friends in my team members, once he is done, he will just make it and just throw in a dustbin. No, that doesn't help you. Keep it in a done task, done bin, so that you know by end of the week how many you planned and how many you cleared, so that it helps you in a better planning for the next weeks, next sprints, next weeks. And also, if there are more things on the done, it motivates you that you are doing good. Okay. And also color coding also, it again depends on team to team. Some people, they don't want to change the color, some people want to change the color from each stage. That's again those rules that I leave it to the individual organization. And there are some rules that you need to make for the Kanban effectively. Having a Kanban board is great, but you do not have effective process and rules around the board, it is not effective as you think. Update the Kanban every day with a 15 minutes meeting with the team. Okay, as I mentioned, there should be a standard stand-up meeting like you do for your Scrum meetings. Exactly 15 minutes of stand-up meeting, and this is mandatory and has to be done every day without fail. If a manager is not there, here we don't have a Scrum Master, someone for Kanban board. A manager or a team leader, someone can take initiative. For a 1 week, some X person is going to take initiative. Next week, some Y person is going to take initiative. So it should not be person dependent, and whether the person is available or not, the Kanban meeting should go. And encourage the team members to move their tasks during the meeting. It's not mandatory to move during the meeting, but what happens if you move during the meeting, then you know what are the tasks that you completed from yesterday till today. And absolutely, I encourage my team members to move the task immediately. I don't want to wait them for the next day for my meeting so that I can review and move. No, I ask them, okay, if they complete the task while going for water or going out, I ask them to move and go. And it's fun. Definitely, you come, someone completes the task, then everyone appreciates, and you have very good environment, fun environment within your team. And only one person can add tasks. This is very important. Just to have a close control of the task, let's have only one person having the task. Don't allow all the team members to write the task and assign. Whenever there is a new tickets or whenever there is a new flow of work, then as a project manager, either you do or you delegate that responsibility to only one person. So only he or she can able to write the task and keep it in a backlog board. Okay. And always adhere to maximum number defined for each row. At any given point of time, in a development, I cannot have more than 5. For QA, I cannot have more than 2. Like every swim lanes, you need to define the work in progress number, and never ever there should not be more than those tasks. If it is more than those, then you are not following the rules. Do not immediately delete the task in the done section. Yeah, that's exactly I told, keep it in the done section. These are some of the standard guidelines you need to follow. Very effective. This looks very simple, and Kanban looks very easy, but very effective. Believe me, you practice with your individual board, you are going to get a lot of benefit. Okay, I need to hurry up. All the items on the backlog. The first thing is backlog. As I mentioned, backlog is the first thing. All items on the backlog should be approved by key stakeholders. So before keeping a backlog into it, that need to be discussed within the key stakeholders, and once they agree, then that should go into a backlog. Before any item is added to the backlog, it must be have the requirements defined. So until or unless you clearly know what is the requirements defined on the backlog, you cannot keep it in the Kanban board. All tasks should come with an end date or time. So because without an end date, it's no point in having something, right? So all tasks need to come with an end date or a time. Within 5 days, you need to complete our end date. And all tasks should come with priority. So in my organization, when in my teams, I used to have a color coding, something very urgent. I used to keep them on a pink slips, like a pink slips or red slips. That means that that is very urgent task, and some XYZ is working on something. Whenever the red task comes, for the person who has that skill set, he will pick that, and he will park some of his tasks. In case if he has reached the work in progress limit, they will move it to parking lot, one of the tasks, and they will start working. And some of the Kanban boards, I will show you some example where we have a priority lane. Priority lane is something, there is a P1, P2, P1, P2 ticket. I am doing, if I have a P1, P2, that need to be closed within half an hour, 1 hour, and I cannot say that I'm working on P3, P4 tickets and I will do after. No. Whenever a priority is there, then that goes into priority swim lane. Then priority task, people need to pick the priority task and complete it. And rules to do all items only after assigning them a owner and is prioritized for the work. Those things need to go into do, and ensure the right status is reflected in other tracking systems like MS Project, Team Backlog, or Jira. And work in progress. This is very important. Work in progress. Move task only when they can be worked on. As I mentioned, every task, if I am working on something and I don't have a bandwidth, then I cannot assign myself one. So whenever there is a bandwidth, whenever there is, I am working on one task and I am waiting for some inputs, I have a time, then I can pull something, pull some task which I can complete until I get some resolution from other person, I can work. So move task only when that can be worked on. Ensure card has the name of the person working on the task, and adhere to maximum column strictly so that team is not overloaded. Ensure team updates the task status in daily working the daily basis. These are some of the rules which been kept based on my understanding, based on my experience, and based on some suggestions from the expert. And it is not the final thing. Everything you can modify, and if you agree as a team, then you can implement one more new categories also. And instructions done. Move task only when all the aspects of it are completed. Example: no defects, no. See, something is done means done, it won't come back again. There should not defects been addressed, and all the issues around it has been closed. Then only the ticket or the particular Kanban, particular billboard need to be moved to the done. And mark all the complete task as completed, which is in green. Especially when you are using the Jira or Azure boards or any of the customized tools, then that automatically turns into green when you move it into done. Just to give, I forgot to tell this. We started our journey. Okay, let me complete this. Then, okay, advantages and benefits of using Kanban for project managers. As a project managers, we know what is Kanban and what are the principles of Kanban and how exactly I need to do the Kanban. And what is the advantages? Higher efficiency. How you can achieve a higher efficiency? Because the process is streamlined. There's no bottlenecks. I cannot say no zero bottlenecks, but minimal bottlenecks will be there. So obviously, when there is no bottlenecks and the work is streamlined and there is a continuous flow of work, that means that the process efficiency has increased. Reduce waste, as I mentioned, because waste is nothing but waiting time is a waste, or non-value added item which doesn't add any functionality is waste. All those things can be reduced. And better communication. How a better communication? You have this Kanban board visually somewhere. in your office or maybe in the system, then everybody knows what is the task X person is doing, Y person is doing, and where exactly it is. And also you are meeting every day once on a stand-up meeting and reviewing the Kanban board. So the communication between the team increases, and every team members know what other person is doing. And faster problem solving. Why? Because there is some issue. And also in Kanban, you can have a help desk, help pavilion also. Something you need a help. If it is assigned to me, I'm working on it and I don't know how to solve it, then I quickly move it to help desk. Then when it is moved into help, then next day when you go for the meeting, something in help that becomes a priority as a project manager, that becomes a priority. Then I go talk to the team member, what happened. Then I know whom to get, what is the skill set of the person required to solve those problems. I can get it. So it's a faster problem solving also, and easy to implement. It is, you don't need to invest much in the infrastructure or buy a license. You can just use a billboard, a board, or maybe a glass, everything which is available near to you, and start this. Just you need some slips. And it is very flexible. There is no rigid rules in Kanban. Something worked for me, it doesn't mean that even you need to same way. You can adapt. You can adapt the Kanban and implement as per the needs of your team members. And finally, whatever we do, we need to improve the quality. And with the Kanban, you have the better communication, you have more efficiencies, and you don't have bottlenecks. So obviously, there will be improved quality. These are some of the benefits by using the Kanban. And I will show some Kanban examples again. Yeah, this is how a thing, I told you, right? There is a whiteboard. You can just plan to do work in progress done. This is as simple as that. You can write the task and when it need to become, you can see 14.4, they need to complete it, when that need to be completed, and to whom it is assigned. All those things can be kept here. Expedite, see, you can see goals, project queue, elaborate discussions, uh, and personal Kanban also. Somebody has a personal Kanban, they don't have a team, or they want to reprioritize their work. This is a personal Kanban. And color coding, you can see color code for projects here. Even I follow exactly same. I have some 5 to 6 script projects which I am handling, strategic projects. So for every project, I have a color coding so that I know what exactly the task of the particular project, where it is. Or maybe someone want to move from one process to another. So from one gate to another gate, some people will change the color also. It's up to them. In case if they want to change the color, up to you. This is also one example. Queue. I told you, right? Express lane. Here you can see the express lane. Those tasks which are on the express lane, that takes the first priority. Express lane is nothing but that need to have utmost care by any of the project manager or the team members. To do stories, Kanban story, to do in progress, testing done. And Jira also. This is how, if you are using Jira or Azure boards, this is how a Kanban. You can create a Kanban and you can customize the swim lanes. Whatever way here to do backlog, test, failed, in progress, code review, in test plan, and released. Software development, new analysis, design, development. So the reason why I'm showing you is the basic board is to-do list or backlog, to do, work in progress, completed. These are 3 to 4. This is a basic Kanban framework. On top of it, you can add it here, like analysis, design, development, QA. You can add it. The sky is the limit, and you optimize even you cannot have 100 different gates. Again, it's very difficult for you to tag. Optimize the gates, and whatever you feel very important that need to be measured, then you can add in the Kanban. Just to give some, this is I think when I was in Infosys, these are the boards which we used with my team when we started implementing Kanban. So with this team, I stop it here. So then I have 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, we are on the time. So this is how the Kanban is done, and there is no right way or wrong way. Just use the basic structure of Kanban and start implementing. And with this, definitely the turnaround time, a ticket or maybe a task that enters into the system, by the time it completes, the turnaround time. When we implemented, we started with the physical board. As I showed you, this is the physical boards we used. Then once after the physical boards, we used our Power BI boards to generate maybe a semi-dynamic tool, semi-dynamic Kanban. Then we moved into ServiceNow. Again, we moved into ServiceNow, and the ServiceNow has integrated Kanban too. So everything is very seamless. So you can develop your own Kanban tool, or a lot of Kanban tools are readily available in market. Excel sheets are there, and maybe you can develop, if you have some good development team, Power BI team, they can develop it very quickly. So if you have any doubts with this Kanban implementation, please type in, and I will just quickly run on this Scrumban. The name itself, Scrumban, is nothing but it's a combination of Scrum and Kanban. It takes the principle of Scrum and also the advantages that you get from the Kanban. It will merge together, and the team can get benefit out of both Scrum and also Kanban. It's a very big subject. Again, Scrumban is very much widely used currently in many of the teams. It required at least a couple of 1 minute of our introduction, but I will just tell what is Scrum. Scrumban is a methodology that uses Scrum artifacts and ceremonies, but within a pull-based system. Hybrid framework where team uses Scrum as a framework and Kanban for process improvement. The work is organized in small sprints. Here the work is organized in small sprints, and it leverages the Kanban boards to visualize the work and monitor the work. So you follow the sprint system, but to visualize or monitor the work, you use the Kanban so that all your user stories will come and sit in the Kanban board. The stories are placed on the Kanban board, and the team manages the work by using work in progress limit. And daily limits, yes, daily meetings will be done to remove impediments. And planning is triggered when work in progress levels are less than the predicted level. Whereas in sprint, whereas in Scrum, you have a planned meetings, you have planned PM meetings, but whereas in Kanban, there should not be any planned meetings. Like 1 week, next 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, I will do a meeting. No, here whenever you feel that work in progress are coming less or becoming more, then you go for a planning meeting. This is one of the flexibility that helps you. And emotions estimations are optional here, and there are no predefined roles in Scrumban. The team retain the same current roles of the Scrum, and it can be implemented in your product development or operations team, production support team, or maturity. And yeah, this again, yeah, the same thing I covered. So Scrumban is something, just to make it simple, it uses the advantages of Scrum and the flexibility of Kanban, so that the Scrum team can have both advantages of the Scrum and Kanban also. And we can talk more about this in the later stages too. And I just want to cover one more thing. See, this is one of the thing we used it earlier. The Kanban, when I was working for aerospace industry 10 years ago, we customized the Kanban called engineering project board. And what we did here, in any of the Kanban board, you might have not seen the whom it is assigned. We generally write it on the engineer name or the associate name. But whereas here, what we have done is we have kept a separate swim lane for the engineer, like Manu, Pawan, Naresh. These are the people. Then we created an inbox for them. Inbox is nothing but to do. Earlier, we used to have an inbox for the complete system. Instead of that, we created an inbox for a particular engineer, so that the engineer know how many tasks that are pending and work in progress. And as I mentioned, help. Help is something, some issue is there, some issue, I'm doing one task and I have some issue, then that goes into help. Okay. And once everything is completed, move it until completed. And in any of the unplanned tasks, which is not planned. See, at the start of how we used to do is at the start of week, that is on Monday morning, we sit together, we review how exactly we have a big MS project with lot of activities we need to do. And for the particular week, we take all the activities and write it on the billboards and stick it in the weekly task and assign it to the different team members. Then every day we monitor how the tasks are progressing. At the end of the week, we see how many tasks are completed and how many tasks are still pending. So if by end of the week, our intention is all those green, all the tasks which is in work in progress or inbox, that should be completed. If something is still in work in progress, then that means that we have not done the proper planning, and we will improve the planning for the next cycle. And whatever the planning you do, there will be some unplanned activities. All the unplanned activities, we write it in a red label, so that by end of the month, end of the week, we know how many unplanned activities that will trigger in the project, so that we know why there are coming, even though we are doing enough planning, why we are getting this unplanned activity, so that you can do a retrospection by end of the week and you can reduce these unplanned activities. This is a very effective tool by identifying the team at any given point of time. I know Manu, how many tasks he has and what is the workload. At any given point of time, I know the workload of my teammates. This is something Kanban, but we call it as engineering project board. We implemented, and even I presented a paper in 2018 national conference, and I spoke about this in Delhi. Team. Somebody needs this help. Maybe at the end of this session, I will leave my coordinates. You can reach out to me. I can help you to understand this in a much better way. With this, I think, sorry, I took 5 minutes more, Vinay. I will stop it here. If you have any questions, I know that there are a lot of questions in the chat window. Let me go through it.
No issues. I'm looking it.
So many are there. I know people, thanks. Someone has raised a hand. You can just ping me. Curious to know how can in info projects. Yes, info projects also you can implement. This okay, Arvind Arvind Kumar Durga. Yes, infrastructure projects, right? Info means infrastructure projects. Yes, it can be. We implemented it for aerospace project. Aerospace and infrastructure projects are both are same. The way how we use waterfall methodologies, so it can be implemented. I have no experience in seeing Kanban, seeing real Kanban and expression this movie. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Data science project during model building, it will take an estimable time, which methodology to be used. And you are unable to establish the time. Yeah, Kanban, you can use it. I mean, I can, if you need more data, maybe I can help you out how you can estimate those. If you don't know the estimate, you don't know how much the task is going to take, then Kanban is one of the tool which you can use it very easily. And maybe you can connect with me later. I can help you to understand how you can do. Can you share the Excel? I don't have the Excel. Okay. It's what if empty tasks are published to adhere the process? Again, that's I mentioned, right? It depends on the team to team. You have to make the process. You have to make the process, and you have to agree on the process. You have to agree on the process. It does work, especially for okay. Really helps for traditional software. Yes, it helps for traditional software also. Your Kanban. My Kanban board, I will leave my coordinates. You can ping me on WhatsApp. I can show my Kanban board. Actually, I forgot. I should have taken auto. Okay. So any manufacturing status possible? Okay. So any questions, team? I will be happy to answer. We are on the hour 11:30, but I will leave my coordinates here. 1 second.
Yeah, there is one interesting question, Manohar,
Can you read it?
From Deepak Sharma on how to plan capacity and load for Kanban.
Kanban, you don't need to plan a capacity because it is a continuous flow of work, full system. So whatever the task that comes to you, you load it in the to-do task, and you have a work in progress. Like I will go back to my previous slides. See, okay. See here, to-do tasks are nothing but whatever the task here, we don't stop you that you should not load only 10 tasks. There is work in progress limit only for work in progress or any other task like work in progress, help or development, QA. But whereas to do, that is your backlog. Backlog, there won't be anything. And how do you plan your workload of team members? That's exactly you do. I have 2 developers. For example, there is a development activity. I have 2 developers. And at any given point of time, as a team, you need to decide for 2 developers, how many activities I can do. Every developer cannot pick more than 2 activities. So at any given point of time, I have 2 developers, then my work in progress limit of my development activity is 4. Yeah. At any given point of time, 4. If you see 5, then they are not using properly. And if you see 3, that means that you are not loading your team members properly. Then you need to update your backlog team.
Yes.
That is how you need to identify, load your team. Development work can be useful. Yes, Babita, it is very much useful. Development work. Construction industry, yes, Usman, it is very much helpful for construction industry also, where you have a clear scope of the work, what is going to come. At least in IT industry, we don't know how exactly the work, what is the thing, what is the issue that we come to know. But whereas in core sectors, especially in construction industry, the process been matured, and from over these years it's been matured. So it becomes very easy to at least to analyze. Risk management is very easy there in a construction industry because you know what are the different risks. So it can be very much useful. The number is missing, sorry. My number 984906875. Also, I will be happy to connect with you all team over my LinkedIn if you guys want to connect. And also, it's not the end of the session. If you have any doubts, I kept your coordinates, my coordinates. You can reach out to me, WhatsApp me, ping me, and I can help you out, team. If there's no questions, Vinay, then I will hand it back to you.
Sure, Manohar, sure. I
I
think,
hope,
yeah,
you, team, just as last question, I hope that you gain some knowledge spending 1 hour here, right? If you can give your feedback, whether how do you felt that session, that would be great for us.
I think, yeah, I mean, I've seen already a lot of comments on how the session went. Manohar. See, basically my take is the Kanban is a universal subject and universal tool to apply everywhere, right from personal to the. It is agnostic to the different frameworks under Agile. And with the way you covered, I think the practical implementation, practical approach and use cases really matters. That's the purpose of these our sessions, and you nailed it. That is my gut feeling. And with your example, I think even I learned quite a good amount of information on the implementation of Kanban. Thanks a lot for sharing for that. And that is how we are glad to have speakers who have the practical implementation, not only on theoretical side. Thank you once again for coming forward and sharing your rich experience with the team, Manohar, and on behalf of our board. And of course, you are part of the board, but it's my duty to convey thanks to you, and thank you very much. And glad we could have successfully completed within the time, and that's fine. Like 2 or 3 minutes, that should be fine. And for your information, we had over 70 people who have joined. It's a record for this session. Okay, and upcoming session is on 31st December. It's again from our own board member Gokul on the Scrum framework. He will be covering Scrum basics and Scrum ceremonies. Okay, and upcoming workshop theme. Somebody was asking in the chat on the ACP workshop. So ACP workshop is on Feb 4th, 5th, 11th. Please do reach out to Shiva, or you can reach out to us in LinkedIn on Telegram. We can help you for further details. And PMP workshop is on Jan 7th, 8th, 21, 22nd. It's a one batch. And then the next month, February 4, 5, 11, and 12. And Discipline Agile Senior Scrum Master Workshop is on Jan 17th to 28th. Please do reach out to our academy team, and they will help you for further registrations and queries. And as you all know, we will be getting one PDU under the ways of working category. And these are the auto-credited team, please. Our events team is working hard. They will take at least 3 to 5 days of time. So kindly wait for a week to get auto-credited. If you have given your all credentials incorrect, the correct information, you will be credited the PDUs. There is some mismatch, then please do reach out to after a week. Reach out to us after a week, okay? And that's it, team. And it was again very fantastic day, and we had a great session. Any questions regarding the sessions, please do reach out to me at the program at pmipcc.org. We can help you, and we will be continuing the series. And we pretty soon will come up with the more details on Agile conference. Maybe next week we'll be coming up with the more details. And thank you once again on joining on Saturday, and see you in the next session. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Vinay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Venkat. Thanks, Kamal.